Hey guys, today I'm going to talk a little bit about your inner core canister and learning to breathe, which is actually one of the best things you can do to set yourself up for a comfortable pregnancy and postpartum recovery. I know that when I was pregnant and even postpartum, I didn't really think much of breathing. It's just natural, right? We breathe in, we breathe out, that's how we survive. But what's interesting is through pregnancy is our body's doing amazing things, but our baby is also squishing things around. And so we do find it harder to breathe, and we often develop distorted breathing patterns. So when we think about our core, we often sometimes think about our six-pack muscles, our rectus abdominis, that outside layer, our nice washboard abs. But really, we want to think about our inner core, our core canister, our central stability system, which consists of our diaphragm, our pelvic floor down below, our deep transverse abdominis, and our multifidi, which sit along the backside. So these are the main components, along with our glutes, that really kind of support us throughout the day. And those actually turn on before we make any other movements. So if I'm swinging my arm, my central stability system is turning on to support me before my arm even moves, before my deltoid, before my shoulder, before anything up in this area moves. My central stability system is what fires and kicks on, and that's going to keep me nice and stable and also prevent injury. So just a little quick description of when we're breathing. So as we breathe and we take a big inhale in, the diaphragm descends, the rib cage and the tummy expand, and our pelvic floor lengthens down and out, as well as our deep core. On that exhale, our pelvic floor, kind of like a rubber band, recoils and comes up. Our TVA, or deep core, is drawn inward, and our diaphragm contracts upward. So this up and down motion, constant throughout the day, is dynamic. So it's not static, it's constantly moving, and this is often described like a piston from Julie Wiebe. So that's what we want in an ideal world. But the problem is when we're pregnant and our diaphragm is kind of squished up in there and our ribs, and we're having trouble breathing, sometimes this piston isn't happening. It throws a wrench in our system. So postpartum, we have to really learn how to breathe. So there are a couple little tricks. But the reason why this is important, I want you to imagine this is a balloon. Sorry, I don't really have it. The top is the diaphragm, the bottom is the pelvic floor, and our core is through the middle. And imagine if you have a distorted breathing pattern, or you're sucking in all day or something like that, and we're kind of squeezing the balloon from the middle. Obviously, you can see the balloon goes up, it goes down, which is basically pressure distribution. So if we don't have a great management, if we cannot manage this system as we should and kind of have this piston effect and our breath right, you can see how that pressure has to go down, the pressure has to go up. A lot of times it goes down, and that's when we experience some type of pelvic floor dysfunction, could eventually potentially lead to pelvic organ prolapse. So that's why, sorry, don't have the balloon, but why it's really important that we have this piston effect. We have the inhale, the exhale throughout the day. So just a couple quick cues for you. On your inhale, I want you to think about putting your hands kind of underneath your rib cage is a great place to put them. I want your hands to wrap around though, so we're not just on the front, so that our hands kind of around our brow line are situated on the front and on the sides and on the back. So when we take our inhale, we actually want to feel our hands move and that expansion, kind of like an umbrella opening up. So it's that inhale. Just focus on the inhale right now, but you can see my hands moving. What's really common, especially in pregnancy, is that we inhale and our shoulders rise up. So that's a cue for you. If you see your shoulders rise up, if you're looking in the mirror, then we want to pull back and kind of reset. Another little trick that I learned from a colleague is to take a band or something like that and kind of place it at the bra line for a little tactical feedback. So as you inhale, think about pushing into the band and kind of wrap that around all sides. The cool thing about that is after pregnancy, I noticed that one side, because I had my hands there, it was harder to breathe into one side or the other, which is common depending on where your baby was situated. So on the inhale breath, you want to think about expanding the rib cage to about 360 degrees. Your pelvic floor relaxes as you take that inhale. So the pelvic floor, your abdomen relax and expand. On your exhale, you're breathing air out of the body. And so inhale, exhale. My pelvic floor, it's that audible exhale, that my pelvic floor, my deep core, contract upward, recoil back, and the deep core kind of follows suit of the pelvic floor, so it's that inhale, exhale, my deep core follows suit and draws inwards as the breath leaves my body. So it's that piston breath, that inhale, exhale, that we really want to practice throughout the day. I'll go into more details in future posts about alignment and breath strategies as we apply this through movement, but wanted to give you a baseline and some introduction. Hope that was helpful.